Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to do a fast tutorial, hopefully fast, I always say that, I need to stop saying that, for this awesome reverse stamping gradient decal with glitter placement. I love this design and it's such an intricate design to have to do on your nails, very tedious. So I'm going to show you how I would do it on the mat so you don't have such a hard time doing it like I do. This is like my cheat session. So on my mat here, you guys can even use a yogurt lid. I've used a yogurt lid before, but if you have, you need to remember to use much more polish and it will take longer to dry and you will have to wait in between steps. I'm going to keep things kind of light here so I don't have to do that too much. I've started off using Revlon's clear polish, not a fast dry top coat, but clear polish. It always works the best. It tends to be more flexible and it doesn't crack. So I put a nice good coat around my little decal station here, and I am going to stamp out this awesome little fairy tree design here, and I'm going to make sure that this is tacky but not wet, because when you roll the stamper onto it you don't want to squish anything. Let me just move my polishes back here a little, guys. You don't want to like squish anything or make it impossible for you to get things done. So I'm going to put some of my favorite Bundle Monster stamping polish. Scrapey scrapey, and you pick up a nice pretty design. You want to kind of lay it down a little bit. If you're using a clear stamper it'd be better, but I like this one, the Queen stamper, and you're just going to roll it up towards like the back half of the nail. And that's kind of fine because I wanted to get a little bit more color up toward the top here, because I need a pinky one. I made really big designs on this one for like large fingernails like this one, so I need to scale it back just a bit. I'm going to use a little bit of my acetone to clean off our plate. We're going to do this one more time. Make sure to wipe in between. It's a nice design here. We're going to place and roll on. I just want to make sure to just gently touch the top. So just gently to kind of press down any of the spots on the design that you don't think adhered or that might be sticking up, and that'll create an issue when you go to sponge on. So I'm going to float some of this clear polish over the top of these decals. This does take a bit to dry, but you want to make sure that this is sealed and not going to be hurt by you sponging your polish on this. So let's just blow this. And this is the boring part of this nail, is because you have to wait. I just want to show you really quick. I used my latex-free sponge to create this awesome 4-color gradient. I like Sinful colors for gradients. They're awesome. I've also found that this Pure Ice gel top coat, gel technology color, they work amazing for this. And of course my Orly black, I love Orly, and I made sure to make the purple the largest one because that's going to be like the background, the sky, and all the awesome things. So I'm going to move on to our next step, and that is we're going to place some glitter. I have this awesome like color mix that I got from a friend, and I'm just going to kind of wet the end of this this brush and pick up these little opaly kind of glitters and just touch them around the top of the sky. I'm trying to avoid the big glitters. Sometimes the opal ones that look cool, but the big darker glitters, they don't look awesome, so I want to get rid of those. Let's just pick these up and just kind of lay them around. See, stuff gets stuck, and actually, let's use that. It's pretty. The good thing about this is if you get it stuck correctly, you don't have to worry about it sticking up and wrecking the rest of your manicure. I really, really, really love it. I just want to get a couple more little ones in there. There we go. placing glitter. All right, so I like the way that looks. I love this little glittery. Let me just pull this a little bit more in focus for you guys. You can see the glitter's kind of like specked around there. I'm gonna go ahead and start my awesome gradient colors. I'm obviously taking a fresh sponge because that has dried since the last time. So I am starting with the blue and really just letting it soak into the sponge for the first couple of times. You want to use a lot more polish than you would originally think, and it's okay if it gets run together a little bit. It looks more natural. You're going to make this one, whoops, I'm not even showing you guys, this is great. Let me move things here. This is what I'm doing, by the way. Isn't that nice? I'm going to use much more of the purple. And don't worry about filling in the gaps right away, because as you add layers of polish here, you're going to get more of that color kind of squished together. And remember, I want the blue at the bottom, and I kind of line it up towards where the tip of my nail is going to be. And just gently start sponging on your first layer. The first time I will only kind of stamp once on that side, on that decal, because you want to start building up a layer. And these layers dry super, super quick, so you don't have to worry too much. That's also why I do 2 decals at one time at least, actually up to 5, because they get a chance to dry in between the layers. All right, and I'm going to come in with this second one, and I want to make sure I have a lot of polish on here, and I'm going to kind of roll and then press and then lift without scooching around at all. See, like that. And you'll notice as we go along here that the more polish you use, this fluffier, the bigger the sponge gets, and the better the application gets. Let's just move along here. And yes, I'm using a lot of polish. But what do we get it for if not to use it? You'll see some of these little pieces that want to pull up, but don't worry, because you're going to cover this in another entire layer of top coat, and then you just won't have to worry about it. And then once you get it on your nail, you're going to want to gloss that thing up too. So, more layers. And yes, the more you use, the better it will be. You don't want to like oversaturate, but a nice hefty layer will kind of help it kind of squish together. Awesome. And as the layers build up, it'll get much more opaque and easier to handle. Let's use more of the black. I love the oily black because it melts into your sponge super easy, but it does tend to get a little bit tacky, so you need to use a little bit more, a little heavier handed with some of your older non-so-runny polishes. And this is a little tedious, but it's awesome. Once you get to see the end result, it really is amazing. All right, I am happy with that color saturation. I'm going to push everything aside. Come on, scoot it, scoot, scoot. And I'm going to come in again with my clear polish. And I'm going to make a nice, thick, heavy, floaty top pass over these decals. I want the design to be protected. I want you to be able to be lifted up. And I know you can see a little bit through this one. I'm going to hold it up to you. But to be perfectly honest, you're not going to see that once it's on your nail, especially when it's in the sunlight. And I put clear tips on my nails, oops, so you really can't tell. I'm going to hold this up and let you guys see what it looks like before it's dry and after it's dry. You see kind of it's more matte. You can almost tell the texture underneath it. I'm going to take my little tool over here, and I'm going to prep my next nail by using clear top coat. Well, this isn't the clear top coat. This is, again, the clear polish. And yes, there's still color on my nail, but I don't file my actual nail bed, so if it wants to stay there, it's all right. I'm going to take the edge of this little tool. I like to use a knife, something that's sharper, especially if it's a little wet. And I'm just going to press down on the silicone. If you were using a yogurt lid or something like that, you would just gently bend it. And when it isn't tacky, then you know it's ready. I'm just going to work on just gently getting all the corners. I'm trying not to press. Let's see if I can get my fingers on this and just gently peel it away from the backing. Oh my gosh, this looks so cool. All right, so you see that you have this awesome little manicure going on here, and I see this is not tacky anymore. I'm gonna lay, obviously, design side up. I try to focus the tip where I know I want the tip to be. And warning, once you get it on there, you pretty much need to keep it where it is. So take your time with placement. So once it's on where you kind of want it to be, I kind of just move and roll and press things down. Sometimes I turn it over and give it like a little press. This didn't get quite as far down as I'd want it to be, but at this point I believe that the peel up, we can always try, would warp the design. Oh, it might work. That is the super awesome thing about these decals, is try and try again. Ladies and gentlemen, I absolutely love them. They're so versatile, they're easy to use, and they're, I mean, if I can use them, probably anyone can use them. All right, now that is much better. And yes, laying it on wet polish will help you kind of slide the design around. That is absolutely perfect. I'm going to use my fingers to kind of gently, because you don't want to put fingerprints in the design, kind of wrap around your nail bed and kind of hug that polish to your cuticle. It's essentially a sticker, so you're going to use it the same way. I'm going to take my little file here and just gently kind of tug at the edge and pressing into the cuticle, because this is wet and it's also been kind of softened by that under coat of polish that we put. And you're just going to just gently press it down out into the cuticle to kind of cut your decal away. Oh, look, I smushed things. It's a good thing I'm not using that one. I can't ever keep myself in frame for you guys. Editing will help. Let's just pull this away. See, I want to try to avoid using my knife on camera, and this is what I get. A pain in the tuck. Right. I'm going to gently press that back down in. Run my file back and forth along the edges, kind of towards the design. You see I have all this peel up here, and you can just kind of gently peel it away from your edges. There we go. And to finish, I am going to use my absolute favorite, the Seche Vite, I think I'm saying that right, clear top coat, but this is the gel effects, and it really is awesome. I'm going to float this over. I much prefer this as a shine. And because we put that clear polish down, you have less a chance of ruining things. Guys, I'm going to complete this manicure and then get back to you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the support. I'm almost at 900 subscribers. I love you guys, and we will talk to you soon. Sorry about the